I was in need of new tires, so I thought I'd go ahead and put a 2-inch leveling kit on my truck. I bought the leveling kit from Street Race for $37. It's just a piece of aluminum. It's machined really well. It's just a piece of aluminum. You don't have to buy the name brand stuff. But I'm gonna go over some points of before and after. Like, this is a factory rake. My wheel well height over here is 39.5 inches, and the front wheel is just under 37 inches. After I leveled it, which it is now 38.5 inches. So it's about an inch, still has an inch rake in it. I'll go over the headlights before and after. Before, they were at 40 inches at 25 feet away. After I raised it, it went to 44 inches. So I had to drop them. The hitch height, the hitch on the back of the truck, it dropped a 1/2 inch. It's now at 16 3/4 inches. 17 inches is about normal for hitch height. And then the alignment. It changed my alignment. It brought the toe in by 1/8 of an inch. The original toe before I did it was at 0. There was 0 toe on it. And another important thing is to unplug the power steering, the e-pass system, before you start, because if you bang on the end of the tie rod ends, you could damage the electronics. You don't want to do that. And then in the video, I'll also show you where you rotate the strut 180 degrees, and you can bend the 2 bottom bolts up, going the other direction, so you can put it back in. Now, if you go with the 33-inch tires, it's going to change your speed and your miles per gallon, unless you change your PCM values in your computer. So it'll make it like 3 miles per hour faster going 80 miles an hour, and it'll change your miles per gallon. So update your PCM if you'd like. In the American Trucks video, they have a vacuum pump that they use in there. You don't have to have that, but it does make the job a lot easier if you put the vacuum pump on there and disengage the 4-wheel drive. So when you go to put it back on, it'll slide right on, and then after you get everything bolted up, then you can release the vacuum and turn your rotor to make the 4-wheel drive engage. It just makes it a lot easier. So I'm going with the BF Goodrich KO2s. The original tires are 275 55 20, and these are 275 60 20s. So these tires are about 1 inch taller than the factory tires. And after I put these tires on, that'll raise my trailer hitch back up about another 1/2 inch. Since these tires are 1 inch bigger, it'll raise the truck up a 1/2 inch. When you order the 2-inch leveling kit and you get it, it's probably going to be like 1.5 inches thick. And there's a reason for that. It's not going to be actually 2 inches, because it's based off the control arm. Just figure this is the control arm here, and this is where it attaches to the frame of the truck, and this is your ball joint where your wheel is. But your strut's right here in the middle. So if you have 1.5 inch spacer here, it's going to push this ball joint down 2 inches. I didn't get quite 2 inches in my lift, but that's the reasoning behind it. So what I'm going to do in my video is I'm going to give you a quick slideshow of the bolts I took out, the steps I took, but there's a good video from American Trucks. I'm gonna put in the link below in the description, and just follow their video. Their video is perfect. There's a lot of videos out there. Theirs was the best one I could find. And also I'll put a link in the description for Street Race, the 2-inch leveling kit. The first thing I need to do is check the alignment on my truck before I start this 2-inch lift. I just want to try to put it back to close to where it was before I do go get an alignment and all that. So this plate here is what I use, and you have to line it up on the center of the wheel. Make sure this is level, make sure this is touching the rim and not the tire, and then put your tape measures in there. And it's pretty much 0, which doesn't sound right, but I'll have to check the specs on it. But I want to do this before I do the project, and so I can put it back to where it is. Remove the power steering connectors. Remove the sway bar nut. Remove the brake line and sensor bracket. Remove the brake caliper bracket bolts. Hang the caliper assembly safely. Remove the 3 shroud bolts. Remove the wheel sensor. Remove the axle shaft cover. Remove the tie rod nut and disassemble. Remove the upper ball joint nut. Apply 24 inches of vacuum to the bigger fitting on the 4-wheel drive actuator. Remove the axle nut. Remove the lower ball joint nut carefully and then remove the hub. Mark the front side of the strut. Stand the strut up and install the strut spacer. It can only go on one way. Since we're turning the strut around the other way, I need to get this angle of this back this way. So I'm going to use this pipe here. Just stick this pipe in here, push down on it, and just jerk it up. This should be about the right angle. Start one nut at the top of the strut, and then pry the 2 lower bolts back into place. Then do everything in reverse. And when you get to the axle nut, tighten it to 30 foot-pounds. As you can see, the lift raised my lights about 4 inches higher than the mark than it was before. So it's about 4 inches higher. I'm going to adjust them now. To adjust your headlights, just find this hole right here. Use a Phillips head screwdriver and go counterclockwise to lower it and clockwise to raise it. Adjust this right here. So I got to go counterclockwise to turn them down. To the top of that tape. There we go. There we go. Now they're both adjusted. Well, I got the tires put on today, and I think they look pretty good. They did the alignment on it. They said they just tweaked it just a little bit. It was pretty much in alignment. I wanted to get a printout of the sheets and compare them, but they didn't print them out in time. But he said he barely had to adjust anything. So one other thing I'd have to do tonight is check the headlight height again, and then done.